Can you kindly step into the oven, please?
Would you mind getting inside the oven to clean it?
Stop! Nana, stop!
So, The Visit. This is a very, very late movie review. And you know what? Nobody's going to watch this. All 2 of you who are watching this right now, thank you.
It's me. I want to review
3 of you who are watching the review. But you know what? I love horror movies so much. And I want to chronicle my journey through horror movies of 2015.
We're not off to a good start.
We are off to a terrible start because I don't care what any other YouTube review, because since this is late, I've watched other reviews. This is an awful, awful movie.
Go to horror movies, he said. He said, Del, they're good. You get into the genre.
I did not say they were good.
You said you could get into the genre,
You say
Del.
this year.
Del. And then it was
Horror is good.
Listen, when you are a reviewer, it is your responsibility to go out and see bad movies and tell people about how bad they are. And the one solace that you can take from it is if you ended up spending money on a movie you didn't like, you can make fun of it and see other people making fun of it like so. This movie sucked. It was fucking terrible. And I don't know why people are saying it's anywhere half good. It may be because M. Night Shyamalan has just hit such rock bottom. You guys, you should watch my the Last Airbender movie review, which I did. Go watch that one. Probably because of movies of that caliber from M. Night Shyamalan, people are saying, this is not that bad, you know, this is pretty good. It's not good. No. It's not. It's not good.
It's not.
Joe?
I'm gonna have to
Go ahead.
I actually disagree.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's a great movie, but it was still entertaining. I still, I was on the edge of my seat. I was like, what's going on? I'm telling you, I was like, I know what happens.
I think Joe's just saying this because a lot of you have been saying we all agree on the same movies.
No,
I don't believe you, Joe.
Why?
I don't believe you.
Like, was it not telling you during the movies? I was like, all right, I know what's going on. I gave you my plot ending, and though I was wrong, that's when it started.
Way wrong.
That's
So we're not going to
when it
do
started
two
declining.
videos. Yeah, you're right. No. You're right. Was there a slow decline? Was it a gradual decline, or was it a sharp decline?
Yes, it was a sharp decline.
Okay, so here the reason why we are similar on movies. I think we all have similar tastes. So let's put that criticism aside. Basically, what is in this movie is and here's why Joe probably said that. It's a competent movie. It's made well. Okay? It's made well. It's acted well. The concept is great. Yes. Old people are scary, right?
Oh,
that is good.
Sure.
It's good. It started out good. And Del may have something to say elsewhere, but you know. So all of these elements combine for a competent movie. Editing's great. Cinematography, with the exception of god dang shaky cam. I came out of the theater a little bit. Either. Yeah, was there? You didn't like some of the shots in the movie, right?
Yeah, it was kind of like Blair Witch.
Yeah, a little shaky sometimes, made me a little nauseous. But that was probably the pizza I was eating. But anyways, so it was made competently, but it didn't come together in the end. So this is why I love to go to horror movies, because I like to see a concept be realized and how they end it. And it just so happens that horror of all genres end in the worst possible way. They have the most misfires.
They do.
And this one misfired at the end. So go ahead, Del. What did you think about the movie? Did you think it was well acted at least? You gotta give it to the grandma, okay? The whole story of the movie, if you don't know it, it's these two young kids who are the product of a broken marriage, and their mom sends them to go and visit their grandparents, which she is estranged from her parents because they had a fight when she was a younger, right? 19. Well, not mine. And so they spend the whole week with the grandparents. And shit starts to fall apart because the bedtime is 9:30. Because if you at 9:30, the grandma goes crazy and starts doing crazy things, and it just progressively gets crazier and crazier. Yeah. So, did you not think that she was a great actress?
I thought
the old people, they were good actors.
Great actors.
I thought the way it was mapped out and the writing and how they tried to be funny in a movie that was like about mental health, it was just...
Yeah.
I thought the acting was good, but the writing was terrible.
Yeah, well, I could tell you the writing it felt tone deaf in several areas. We could get to spoilers, but real serious things happen, and then at the very next, you're doing lighthearted stuff. But if once you realize what this movie is really about towards the end, you're like, that's a little tone deaf. That's a little insensitive. But anyways, so the main movie is driven by child actors. Okay, obviously you've got the sister and the brother, and I gotta say they were also really good actors for child actors.
Yeah.
However, what breaks the immersion for me and my critique on them is nobody talks like that. No, children of that age don't talk like that. I've met very, very, very few. And if you want to focus on the few, maybe they are one of the few. Fine, right?
Not both of them?
Yeah, well, no, let's just say both of them. Fine. So they talk like that. They're basically, they act as little adults. They're literally adults in this film. And I don't know whether that's because M. Night Shyamalan felt like he needed mature adult child actors to carry the film, or whether these were just these eccentric characters and he wanted them to have a lot of depth, but it was hard to believe that these children really behaved in these different ways. Let's just say we accept it. They have exceptional children. She has exceptional children. But the characterization, like the young kid wanting to rap, it was just
so bad.
It was personally annoying to me.
I didn't like that part.
Rapping, I love rap, but the raps that the kid did in this movie, when he's doing it, I'm in my seat like I cringe. It's like back in the 90s when they used to always include like white guys trying to rap and stuff. Back when it was taboo to like, oh, you're a white guy, you rap? Oh, that's a novelty. That's what they treated it in this movie.
It's one of those things where like they did it so badly positioning wise and how they inserted it that not only was it awkward, it made you feel, the entire audience feel awkward.
You didn't believe it.
You didn't want it there. It was like,
you didn't believe it for 1 second. You knew that it was written by M. Night Shyamalan. He's truly the aspiring rapper. M. Night, cut it out. We know you want to be a rap. Not playing. Anyway, so aside from those, but honestly, those little critiques are very small compared to the rest of the movie. I just had to bring those up as a caveat to the strong acting. So it's a strong acting, strongly edited movie. It's just, it really starts to fall apart towards the second and third acts. I think that without spoiling much, and we'll do it in the spoilers, they play a game of hide and go seek. And the hide and go seek is perhaps the scariest moment in the film. And after that moment, the film does that sharp decline.
yeah, it's...
So, it's really hard to talk about this movie without spoiling it because it is one of those one concept type films. M. Night has this reputation, well, okay, what's the twist? And this movie does have a twist in it. It seems, so while other people will talk about how M. Night had hits and then he had a bunch of misfires, then quit and came back and this film's not so bad. In my opinion, this film is bad. It's not a film I would ever watch again, and it's not a film that I would recommend people to go and see if they find old people scary. What do you think, Joe?
Old people are pretty scary. Old people are pretty scary to me.
Yeah?
Freaks me out.
Why?
They're creepy.
Yeah. Okay, so
I just gotta point out, we've watched a lot of movies with him, right? With Shyamalan or whatever his name is. And you think of movies that he did like The Sixth Sense, where it's really serious, it sets the tone the entire movie. And this is one of his movies where he really wanted to make a comeback and stuff, and it feels like the whole movie is just a joke, not a joke, a joke, not a joke, a joke, not a joke. And you don't have a tone at all in the entire movie. You're like, oh, I'm laughing. Oh, there's something serious. Oh, then there's fun. Oh,
Yeah, it fucks
I
up
didn't
the
mind that though. I liked it too because it kind of gets you off guard. It's like, oh, what's gonna happen? Something's gonna happen. Something creepy's gonna happen. But then you're joking around, kind of trying to catch you off guard, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I hear that, but that happened in Poltergeist too, and we
Yeah.
didn't like that movie very much.
The
They were struggling with the tone.
Those jokes and that whole thing.
I don't think this is a comedy in the same way that a lot of people treat The Happening as a comedy. This is not the same comedy as The Happening. This is intentionally supposed to be scary with some jokes thrown in to break the tension. The problem was the jokes broke the tension as the tension was building. Yeah. That's the thing. You let the tension build, then you break it. There's one scene in particular where the grandpa goes into a shed and he's doing things in the shed, and you know you're getting shots of him going to the shed, and there's supposed to be tension building there. You're like, what is going on? There's some creepy stuff here, and the kid is making jokes, and the kid is basically breaking the whole scene with his rap persona and his whole thing. So that's what I had a problem with. Also, the behaviors were really unrealistic. These are old people, okay? If old people start to get fresh with you and they start to creep you out and cross the line, what the hell are you gonna do? You're gonna kick some fucking ass.
You would hit a 70-year-old man.
You're gonna knock some.
I would deck him.
I'm gonna hit a 70-year-old woman if she doing what she doing in this film.
And how the hell?
Okay, there's gonna be dust flying in the air.
Jesus Christ.
You're gonna hit her so hard she turns to dust.
Oh, this is terrible.
But
we were just joking. That's just a joke.
Oh my God.
How is she crawling
If
with
you-
arthritis? I don't understand.
If you knew what was going on in the film, you would understand that reaction is appropriate. At a certain point, it's time to go. Okay, so if they're kids, they're defense mode. They're kids, right? At no point do they decide, let's leave the house.
For kids that were so smart,
Let's
so
run.
Incredibly stupid.
They are incredibly stupid. They're so intelligent that the girl knows. The excuse for the found footage here is that she's creating a documentary to sort of repair the relationship between her grandparents and the mother. And I thought that was a great subplot.
Yeah,
it was a
subplot.
great excuse for this found footage film. But that doesn't excuse the rest of the movie. It doesn't get a pass for me because that concept was good, or this concept was good, or the acting was good. Because in the end, it didn't come together. And in horror movies, it's so important to have the ending make that impact and just seal the movie. Here, it ruins the movie. The movie gets ruined at the end, falls completely apart, and you're like, why have you guys not left? I don't understand this. And we need to go to the spoilers section in order to really talk about the film. So let's give our final ratings. Joe, if you wanted to talk a little bit more about what the film did well.
I'll probably see more in the spoilers.
Okay, all right. So, final verdict for the film, Del?
4.
4 out of 10. Slightly below average. I'm going to go, I want to do about 4 or 5. I will end up at 5. And see, that's probably what's happening with a lot of people who are rating this movie. I felt, just right then, I felt like a half a tick of, I feel sorry for M. Night.
No.
We've been beating him up all the time. He releases this, and it's competent. It's better than his previous film. You gotta
think of it like this.
It's the acting was good.
That's like, okay, it's like if you're a professional sports player, you have your glory years, you do a lot of good movies, you retire, and you come out of retirement, people are like, this guy was great at one point. He was great. He knows how to do it. He's experienced. And then he makes this movie, and you're supposed to give him a break. No, if you've been great before, you have to have that same expectation.
As a creator and looking at your previous films, M. Night reminds me of me. Because I used to make those types of films when he was a little kid. He made a bunch of films, and that makes me feel for him. But I will end up at a 5 out of 10. It's an average movie, and so when I call it bad, it's all the lost potential. Because this movie had the potential to be the best scary old person movie and one of the better movies of the year, horror movies of the year. Right now, it's not. The horror movies that you still need to go out and see are The Conjuring and Babadook, but I'm not sure if those were this year. I'd have to look it back up. And Joe, so final rating 5 out of 10. Joe, how do you feel?
I was actually playing around too with 5 and 6.
Mm-hmm.
I would say
You're gonna
6.
go 6.
I'm gonna go with 6 on this one.
All right, so it's a rising
It's above,
scale.
above.
4, 5, 6 as we gone up. And if you go see this movie, you'll notice that it goes on up, and then towards the end there, after the chase, it sharply goes down. And we all agree there, right, that the ending falls apart.
Yes.
Do we all agree?
We agree
Yeah,
on
it
that
fell
part.
apart completely.
Yeah,
I
was
didn't
like,
the beginning.
damn it.
So,
that's what lost points.
So, if you don't want spoilers, which at this point the movie's been out for several weeks, you're not going to watch it. And based upon our recommendations, you're probably not going to watch it. Nobody's even watching this video as we're talking right now. So let's spoil it. So basically what it is I saw this coming from a mile away, and I could have put this in the actual.
Yeah, he did tell me that.
I told Joe immediately what it was. I didn't see any media except for the scary trailers. It all came from watching the film, and it was when the grandparents pick up the children. It was just so awkward. They had a cardboard sign that said something like, we're your grandparents or something. It didn't say that. I couldn't see because of my eyes, but it didn't say that. But I was like, what? These aren't their grandparents. Every single time somebody showed up to the old people's house to say hello or to do something, give tuna casserole. Oh, where are they? Oh, they're out on a walk. They're taking a walk. They're not here. And so you could never confirm that these people were the actual people. Later on, one of the ladies does in fact figure out and come at a time when the old couple is there, and you see argument out at that time. That's third act, and they end up hanging her. Yeah. The explanation for the old dude, why don't you just beat up all the old people? They made this old dude, they did that well, because there's lots of strong farmer dudes that are old and they'll kick your fucking ass. They kick my ass. But
you got taken the fuck out by a 10-year-old. But you could run. Yeah. And at no point during the third act, when they realize, there's a moment where they're on the laptop, and at first, another thing that gave it away is the old lady said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I spilled oven cleaner on your laptop, and I put pancake mix on your camera only."
Mine was so far-fetched. Yeah.
She didn't say, well, hold on, we'll get to that in a second. She said they put pancake mix, and you couldn't scratch off the pancake mix or whatever it was on the webcam, so that I guess there wouldn't be a risk of her mother seeing that they're not really their grandparents. So who the fuck are these old people? Well, these old people are from the insane asylum where the original grandparents worked, and everybody loved them. Yeah. And these were inpatients that essentially were crazy. And I don't know if the guy kind of seemed like he might work there as staff, and maybe fell in love with the old lady, or maybe he was a patient himself. Yeah. I don't know.
They were both a patient.
Well,
and
they were both patients because he was talking about playing Yahtzee at the cafeteria.
Yeah, but you could play Yahtzee at the cafeteria. Well, I think you're right.
Yeah, I think it was like in outpatient.
So they basically, because those grandparents were talking about their little grandchildren and their daughter so much, these people went crazy, and he's like, you know what? She deserved to spend one good family night. And so they killed the original grandparents, and they tried to form this little family weekend get-together thing, because this crazy lady who has this sundown syndrome where she goes crazy after 9:30 p.m., which apparently is a real thing, according to the movie. Well, it happens. It's a form of dementia, I guess. And so these people essentially, their history is they had murdered their own children, and they believe in aliens. And I was like, oh, and then so when they started talking about aliens, it started reminding, oh shit, M. Night, what are we doing here? Is there actually going to be monsters or aliens?
That would have been a better twist,
right?
It would have been a better twist,
a way better twist.
Because that's what I told you. That I was like, way parasites. Because she's over there puking up, and the kid.
Okay, wait, hold on. Explain it to them.
So my thing was, I was like, you know what? I think it's a parasite. It's affecting them, or maybe it's something going on with them. That's what's
the little boy has a germ phobia. Let me help you out. So the little boy has a germ phobia. Yeah. Joe tapped me on the shoulder at one point when the boy grabbed like the toilet or something like that, and then I can't get it off. I can't get it off. But I knew that was explained differently because that was just the boy mentally breaking down because the grandparents were basically confirmed to be insane, so he was mentally breaking down. But it would have been better if it was parasites. But then M. Night was probably staying away from that because he was like, everybody gave me shit over the trees, so I'm not gonna do parasites.
Well, maybe, okay, something else, because they're the crazy or whatever. What do you call them? They're inside me.
The
then she's
darkies.
over there like just puking up. I was like, all right, something's wrong with her.
That just didn't make any sense. She's just like,
What I would have preferred is them to actually, she was talking about these aliens, and planet Serlenthia or something like that, where the aliens would puke in the well, or they would
like some
they
kind
would
of
spit.
body snatchers
They're
or something.
They would spit in the well, and it puts people to sleep. And so you need to, don't worry, we're going to put you in the water, and you'll go to sleep, and there's lots of dead bodies in the water, lots of people sleeping. And they're going to take people up into the sky and fly away in their spaceship. You know what? I would have loved the movie.
I was so intrigued right
That
now.
would have been better.
Me too. Exactly. I agree 100%.
That's why I was like, all right, what is going on?
Yeah, so maybe if they would have had creatures come out of the well, like at the end or something, you're like, oh shit, that motherfucker was right. They were spitting in that well, and then that's how you tie in the parasites, right? The parasites started making people go crazy, and he's got the gun. He's like, what? I was just cleaning it. So
it's one of those movies where it was like, you want to be afraid of something, but I genuinely wasn't afraid of the old people. The scariest thing for me in the entire movie was the scene where he's like in there and he hears the floor creak and he's like looking around. It's his sister. He's like, "Whoa!" And it's a jump scare, and I'm like, oh, that's it.
Oh, the single jump
The
scare.
single jump.
No,
it was the
there's more than
scariest.
that.
No,
Yes.
not at once.
When she's running across, there's like a hidden camera.
Yeah.
She's running across.
Oh, that was
she
another-
runs off screen. You don't see her. Then all of a sudden she pops up, and all you see is that's another jump. But it kind of got me.
Yeah, you
Kinda
got to wonder too, because like one of the stupidest things is, so they get that footage of that night where they leave a camera out. And
Yahtzee!
she's like pounding on the door with a knife, and then she's like, "We gotta leave. Don't talk to the grandparents." Then she's like, "Let's have another interview and talk about your most traumatic experience."
That was so stupid. The little girl not only has one interview, but 2 interviews after she knows, let's run, let's get the hell out of here.
And then after that, she's like, "This really makes her freak out and go crazy. Let's talk about it. Why don't you take a seat and talk about it?" It's like, no.
Freaking ridiculous. So, there was the scene where the final lead up to everything, the little boy has germophobia. This crazy old man, once he's revealed as a killer, he has poopy diapers. He shits himself all the time. He takes his poopy diapers and he, fucking
Right in his face.
right in his face. I was getting a little scared there that they were going to be doing some real fucked up shit. Remember, he was taking his pants off in front of the kid. I was like, I'm about to leave this theater right now. If he steps out from the counter and he's got his tallywhacker and his old balls, old hairy sack just flopping out, I would have got up and left. I seriously would have. But instead, no, he pulled his pants back up. You couldn't see it, and he came around and stuck his diaper on the thing and continued to talk crazy.
I gotta say, like, as far as the things go with like how they fought back, they explained, they did that whole story interlude where the kid was like, I froze during football. And then they were like, so we're going to have a really stupid fucking scene in the movie where the kid's like, I don't want to move, I don't want to move, I don't want to move. And they're explaining the stupidity of it.
So that's why he's scared.
It's stupid.
He gets
Come
shit
on.
in his face.
You got to have more respect.
Now
for
his sister...
fucking it's just
now his
wrong,
sister is
OJ.
being attacked because the sister finally kills the old lady. The old man puts the sister in a dark room with the old lady, and she's going. She crawls under the bed and she does this hand thing, and it's not creepy at this point. It's hilarious.
I was laughing, dude.
What is it creepy to you?
I didn't.
At that point,
I was laughing.
even when she got under the white sheets, even when she got under the white sheets, even when she got under.
Right there at that point, I would like hit her. I was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
You hit her
so
with the
bad.
sheets
It
on her.
was
You
funny,
choke her out with the
okay.
sheets on. She gets under the bed sheets, and then she lifts herself up like a ghost. She's like, it's so funny.
Him and I were
the
laughing,
creepy-
dude.
Yes, okay, that part, yes, but when she's like crawling around and it's completely dark, you can't really
Yes,
see what the fuck is going on.
the
That's
rest
creepy.
of the rest of the
but
film
when
where
she
she's
gets
from.
under the sheets, I was like, okay, now
That wasn't.
Yeah.
It's her hand on the bed. I was laughing.
That was me too. I was laughing so much.
Dude. It was
So eventually,
bad.
the old lady jumps on top of the daughter, or the old lady bashes the daughter's head against glass, and she managed to snatch a piece of the glass. And even though she's got a piece of glass here, they go on for about 5 minutes where the lady's like, and you can't see shit because the camera's shaking, and I'm getting nauseous. And then eventually you hear So the little girl kills the old lady. The old lady, the little girl bursts out of the room and notices the dude about to, kill her brother. She jumps on the back of him and he can't see. Like she gouges his eyes or something like that. And the brother's frozen there. The brother is about to watch his sister get killed by this crazy old farmer dude from the mental hospital. And then he realizes, no, I don't want this to be the same thing as freezing and tackling a running back. So, and he tackles him. And then he goes back. And, tackles him. And then he starts yelling
football facts.
Football
facts.
And that just felt, it cheapened the whole movie because I felt like I was in Signs again. Swing away. And then all these things connect the dots. And it's like M. Night feels the need to have these little secret epic moments in his film, but it's kind of endearing because he's still a kid and you can see it and I like it, but when in this instance, those things either swing away and they hit it right on the dot, or they make or break a film, and it just broke the film right there. So
I guess
started declining.
Yeah.
So the police finally show up because the mother realized that those weren't her real parents, and so she was on the way the whole time as this was happening. All the kids had to do were run out of the house, stay on the road, and just run on the road. And eventually the police would have caught them, or caught up with them, but they didn't do that. Anyway, so all this shit happens. The little girl's got blood on her. The little kid has shit on his face. And then they end the film with more documentary stuff, like the mother talking about the real story of why she got into a fight with her grandparents. And after all this happened, it was like that little scene was. I just felt weird and out of place. But you know what? It set off the movie right, because it's like, okay, so she got her closure, and the family's okay. But then he puts in another scene.
Another rap scene. And it's like, no.
So he puts in a rap scene with the little kids, and so now I'm rapping about these motherfucking shit diapers in my face. Hoes and bitches, I'm 13 years old, I almost got killed, and these old people are creep. And I was like, and he's this white kid that doesn't look like a rapper.
Me too, because he killed a man, he got shit on his face, and how does he deal with it? Let's rap about it.
No, it was very disingenuous. Yeah. It just felt really it just felt wrong. You know?
I don't know what. It's one of these things where
stupid.
It was stupid. I don't know what
dumb.
Audience this movie was targeting.
This movie was dumb.
It was really dumb.
It was just fucking
dumb.
Joe, it was fucking dumb.
The ending was dumb.
The ending was dumb.
So
you like the... tell me the first act and the second act is what you were into.
Obviously, it's an M. Night movie, so I'm trying to figure out what's going on, and I'm intrigued the entire time.
We will give it that.
And the acting was great, and the creepy lady, she scared me a bit.
I will say this, the film does engage you for 90% of the time like few other films. So we got to give credit where credit's due, and that's why
I enjoyed it.
I wasn't engaged at all.
All of a sudden...
Yeah. That last 10% drops off.
Screeching halt.
And it really hurts the rest of
the moment the kid was rapping on the train, I was disengaged. I was disengaged.
You really hate rap that much?
No, I don't hate it. I hate when it's done horribly.
Yeah. It was
that's
just
not... I like how everybody's like, is that a camera?
Oh, I'm an actor. And then they do Shakespearean stuff in front of them. That was funny because people actually do that, but they don't do it to that extreme. They act differently when they know a camera's on, and that's what M. Night was trying to put across. Anyways, so that's our extremely late review of The Visit that nobody will see, and I really just made it for me because I want to have a history of all the horror films that me and Joe went out to see. We are adding Delrith to this experience of horror. As we were driving back, Delrith's like,
he's done.
I've never seen.
I don't want to. Okay, so I got here, and when I first got here, I even said in past reviews, if you've seen them, I said I don't watch horror movies a lot. I don't like them. I think some of the things are so stupid that it insults the viewer because it's that dumb, and you're supposed to just accept it as being that stupid. That people are that stupid. I'm like, I'm not watching horror. I'm watching Darwin.
Yeah.
Just call the
and
people
I've seen
with
movies
stupidity.
I've seen movies have excuses for all those things. But anyway, you had
anyway,
said that I don't want to see the movie.
I was like, we've seen nothing but so bad movies, and every time I'm like, there's no way it could be as bad as the last one. And then I see it, and I'm like,
it wasn't as bad as the last one.
This wasn't as bad as the other ones we saw.
It wasn't as bad. It was. I would put it on the same level as Poltergeist, dude.
No,
I would.
I wouldn't.
I don't want to see either of them again. But the times that I saw them, The Visit had more redeeming qualities than Poltergeist. That's the truth. But anyway, so thanks for watching the spoiler section and our very late review on The Visit. We will continue our horror adventure.
Yes,
because I saw
with you maybe.
Or are you dropping out?
You dropping out?
It depends. Can we go see a non-horror movie?
No, that's our job.
No, we can see other movies that are better in the theaters before or in between. We don't have
even if for the rest of time, if all movies that came out were horrible, we would go see them and tell you how bad they are. Yeah, that is our job. And I saw previews for Crimson Peak. And it looks like it's got great actors. It's got Guillermo del Toro attached to it.
That's true.
It's got great visuals. But honestly, somebody needs to tell Guillermo, CGI is not scary. Why would you go from practical effects that everybody loves you for to nothing but CGI? I saw nothing but CGI in this Crimson Peak trailer. So you can expect a Crimson Peak review for us. You can expect...
That's what I was thinking about, the new activity... Whatever one.
Paranormal Activity, you can expect us to review that as well.
There
was some, you're right, a lot of CGI, you're right. But, oddly, I'm kind of more intrigued by that one than I am Crimson Peak. Just because everything is so dressed up so nicely, the house is real, everything is real, practical effects, and then they put CGI. The Paranormal Activity, I don't, it's so low for me now that I don't expect shit from it, but I'm a little intrigued by it. So, stick around for more crazy horror review movies and horror reviews and more movie reviews. Okay, guys, see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye.